Hola, hola, mi gente. Welcome to mini series number 6, Where to Start with Your Fitness. This episode will be how and where to start your exercise routine. My specialty since I started training has been core. You get to do anything you want with a solid foundation. So then we move to stability and balance. I'm going to show you first why, and then how. But before I get into the details, I want to mention this NPR segment that I listened to. That sparked a conversation with my clients about the rise of injuries among our adolescent children, like ACL tears, especially in girls, and how that affects them in the long run. I will include the link to that segment in the description. An ACL is an anterior cruciate ligament. It is the key ligament that connects the thigh bone to the shin bone, and it stabilizes the knee during movement, such as changing directions, loading, cutting with athletes. It's the size of your pinky. The segment cited a study by the National ACL Coalition that mentioned the increased rate of injuries overall. Boys 14 and a half, but girls were doubled 32.3% over a 15-year study that was between 2007 to 2022. That caught my attention because A, I have a 10-year-old daughter doing sports, as do my clients and community. Maybe you do as well. It's worth a listen because in 2025, that number is more like 2 to 8 times higher in girls. You may have also heard that female athletes that are out on account of ACL injuries, such as Jess Fishlock of Seattle Rainier, Nico Muir of the Seattle Storm. Did you know that Megan Rapinoe had 3 separate ACL tears during her soccer career? Fascinating. I'm grateful to be in a position like coaching girls on the run, which is an after school program teaching my daughter how to run. I want her to love it just as much as I do because I'm so in a position where I'm able to include it into their warm ups and teach them early on skills that they can take with them fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. So it's awesome. So, why do girls have a 2 to 8 higher risk of this type of injury than boys? In my dive, you'll see as well. I learned that experts are not really sure. Some reasons include the female anatomy has a different angle from their hips to their knees, which puts their ACL at risk. It can also be hormones because girls hit puberty a lot earlier than boys, therefore having more elasticity in their joints. More girls and women are entering the sports arena than ever before. It could also be that kids are not as active as they used to be 10 to 20 years ago with the introduction of technology. They may spend more time on YouTube, video games, devices, and less time on the playground using their core, doing monkey bars, or riding their bike. They may not be ready to jump into the sports or practice as much as they have to when they actually do get involved. There's also the time constraint of having to learn skills and practice for whatever sport they are planning to do. In those two allotted times, I know there's so much more we could do with Girls on the Run, but we have to put some lessons together because there's just not enough time. But I am not skipping the warm up and the dynamic stretching and the stability that we're going to talk about because some coaches have never received that type of training to pass on. So I want to give that to you. The point is that experts do not know exactly why these injuries happen in adolescence, but what they do know is that those injuries turn into arthritis in their 30s. which means not being able to run, hike, play pickleball with their parents. It means less mobility as you get older, not to mention the mental health aspect of not being around the community that you used to do these activities with. That's a bummer. But here's the good news, you can do something about it and prevent them from happening by implementing neuromuscular training, which is a fancy word that means exercises that build muscle memory to optimize athletic movements like jump training, core strength, multi-plane movements, aka strength training. You can train the bigger body parts like your glutes and your hamstrings and your calves that can support that ACL ligament and other joints. You can implement an injury prevention dynamic stretching protocol, which have been proven to work as long as you do them regularly and consistently. Even 15 minutes, 2 times a week, or 5 minutes spread out between a few days has been proven to decrease injuries. FIFA implemented a simple, comprehensive, evidence based injury prevention program to reduce injuries in soccer players by roughly 30 to 50% in 11-year-old kids and up. Dynamic stretching can be used as a warm up for your joints before you exercise. It can also help you tap into unused areas by taking that muscle to its healthy length, which is not possible to do all the time. It may not happen because we hold stress in our bodies when we drive, when we work, even when we sleep because of anxiety. Some of you are not able to touch your toes, which means you can't access those deep core muscles, and not to mention your posture with those imbalances. And over time, it just creates problems. And as you age, oof, it only gets worse, let me tell you. I've trained clients from young until their mid 80s. And I'm grateful to be part of that experience, but I'm also learning from them as I go. So some of my clients haven't been able to touch those hamstrings. And then 2, 3 weeks later, they can do it. So I first want to address that. That proper alignment is necessary for overall balance, let alone having stability as you move your body. Some of you parents understand with a sedentary job or and lack of movement. I mean, we don't even use the muscles we used to use when we pushed our grocery cart around the store with the introduction of Amazon and Instacart, or our commute going to those stores, getting in and out of that car. This can be something that you can do as a family. Now, I understand that this can be challenging for some of us because it's not the most sexy part of our exercise, our workout. One of my clients told me afterwards, it actually was fun because she saw the struggle of standing on one foot. She didn't think that that was going to be so much of a challenge, and she's used to doing heavier weight. So we want to do those squats, deadlifts, barbells, presses, and big body parts. Or maybe it's the last thing on your mind when you get home from a 10-hour shift. I get it. We got to find the middle ground. And yet we know that it can be successful with my clients, with athletes. They spend less time scheduling and going to physical therapy appointments, fixing their knee, back, or neck problems, simply by doing a few of these exercises as a maintenance program every day. Core strength in my clients help support their spine and build a base around and in between their spinal cord and disc, not to mention around their nervous system, which gives them more of the ability to send communication to the rest of their bodies. It makes it easier. You build a protective layer that can also absorb the shock in your spine as you run, as you move, as you pick up groceries and put them away. It gives you better posture. because you can stand up straighter. It keeps their bodies from sagging in their lower back and putting overall stress in that back, hip, and other joints like knees and ankles. And it allows for more grounding because you have more stability. You may not want to be a professional player. I get that. But how about incorporating a few of the exercises a day so that you don't have to take out a day or a month or even permanently being out of that sport just because you got hurt? Just imagine our kids at school seated for X amount of hours and the technology that's made our life easier in so many ways. And yet it's made our body lazier in the process. And our mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. I mean, how many of you all can remember somebody's phone number? We talked a little bit about the core stabilizers in your spine, pelvis, and torso. They are the muscles around the torso. They can be your abs, but they do a lot more. They keep your back from arching. They support you as you bend over. They are your natural weight belt. They also include your glutes and control your hip movement and stability. They support organs and support your breathing, which some of us have a hard time taking those deep diaphragmatic breaths, which support settling our nervous system. And it puts stress on other muscles like your chest and neck when you don't. No wonder they keep us maintaining our balance, right? What are some easy ways to implement some of these exercises in your just daily routine? Well, the New York Times talks about habit stacking, like standing on one leg and brushing your teeth. For tightness in the hamstrings, chest, or neck, reach for your toes on one foot. Open the door and do the doorway stretch as you bring those shoulders back. Do some shoulder circles or arm circles. And as you wait for your coffee or at the bus stop or the light rail, stretch out your quads or just stand on one leg. For core strength, stand up as you sit at your desk and drive your car or you walk into a meeting. For many of you gym goers, here's a couple tests that you can do. Touch your toes with straight legs and a flat back. If you can't do that, then you must set up a dynamic stretching warm up and do some static stretching at the end of your workout. Stand on one leg for 30 seconds and just hold it. And then use a foam pad or a Bosu. Add a band. That's another great way to do those lateral movements and use those muscles that we don't do it when we walk front to back. Start doing some of your arm and shoulder exercises while you stand on one leg. Can you do a squat without picking up your heels? Incorporate some single leg squats into your lower body or push days. You may not have to go down as low. Practice. It really helps. What are some exercises that you find absolutely detestable? We all have them. They used to be burpees for me. Now I actually like them. And then there was lunges and push-ups. Start with a few sets. Get those more stable muscles turned on, and then you can progress. Can you do a plank for a minute? So to recap, core stability and balance is where you want to start. It's going to give you more for your money in time. It can be implemented with 5 minutes a day or 2 days per week at your warm-ups, stretch sessions, and or cool downs. Remember, practice and consistency is key. Once that happens, beginners can build that confidence they need. Athletes can improve their performance. Moms can protect their joints and core. Adults and aging parents can maintain independence and live at home with their loved ones a lot longer. Start with 2 days per week during those sessions. Structure them however you want. Put them on a sticky, put them in front of your mirror. Let's practice these exercises and make it happen. There's so many more progressions from static to dynamic to reactive balance. You can do all of this and also train your brain because the proprioception is also trained as you change directions or platforms or shifts. So it's another way to stay young and get the support that you need. We have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel for free. They're just for you. Also, I'm excited to announce that we have a new app coming out soon, so keep an eye out. And sign up if you want more information with our website. Okay, mi gente, I hope that helps. Let me know. I'm here for you. Gracias y adios.